me ask you a question. If your awareness creates your abundance, what can you do with it? Can you shift it? Because if you can, you shift your life. Let's go. Hi, everybody. My name is Phyllis Whitley, and this is Self Whisper Unplug. We are going to be talking today about self awareness breakthrough. I want you to do the normal. Get your tablet, your notepad, or whatever it is that you use, and call a friend. This is going to be quick because it's about self mastery. It's not about who we're going to point the finger at. Yes, we are going to learn some good diamonds today. Actually, self awareness is the key to breaking cycles and unlocking abundance. And I know y'all want abundance. This will cause you to have a breakthrough. Okay. For those of you who are stuck and keep going to the left and going to the right, and it's a whole circle. Okay. So you want to unlock your abundance. Today, we're going to uncover the raw truth. We're going to elevate your queen consciousness. That's what I do. Okay. And we're going to manifest purpose. Some of the key points, or should I say diamonds, that we're going to talk about is, let's start with number one. Self-awareness unplug. Yes, you can't not master what you ignore. Did y'all hear that? If you don't pay attention to the red flags, ladies, that the same man, different face, same spirit is coming to you, you can't master enough, how should I say, self-esteem to walk away. To say, even though I've been single for so many years, yes, I'm talking about years, because some of y'all don't believe that you could be single for many years. Some of you out there and y'all don't even stop swinging on the tree. It is a such thing. Some people go celibate. And I know maybe some of y'all have never heard of that. Yes. Do not allow that to be a reason for you to jump into something that you know is going to bring you back out to where you was at a long time ago in your last relationship. If the person is verbally abusive, chances are that that person will turn around and become physical, yes, with you. And that can turn into physical abuse. The other thing that you want to take note of is break the cycle. I just told you what that was. Stop repeating old habits. Okay. Let me see. Stop getting up late if you got fired at your last three jobs. Yes. If you want greatness, you're going to have a mindset of greatness. And I know, I'm telling you, I used to be late all the time. And I was just telling somebody this not too long ago. I used to be late all the time. And one day I listened to some show. The man was discussing how lateness is also some form of power. And everybody said, well, how could that be power? And they said, it can be power because everybody's waiting on you. And when I realized that, let me go back, because what gives you power is you have the control. No one can do anything without you. So a lot of people get that sense of power from having you wait. And I got to a point in my life, I said, I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm not going to do that. And I decided to start psyching my own mind up and setting it to 15 minutes before the original time, a time that it's supposed to be. And this way I usually come in early. And I found it so heavily to walk into a job and I was early. It was so much that could be done, so much you will learn. So I do that. Now, getting on the Zoom calls and stuff like that, I get there the last minute. And I'm going to stop that because you have to bring that greatness over to social media. You must do it. And when I go on webinars or somebody's giving any kind of thing that they're giving in a webinar, you should be there early. And you think it doesn't matter. But if you have a coach or someone is given a presentation to advance you, you should get there early because they know who's in the room, and then you should have your cameras off. So those are little things that you might say, oh, it doesn't matter. But if you are have social media presence, if you are influencers, you don't want nobody sitting up there. Some people love it. Some people love long lines. They think and yes, long lines at the social media too. So you want to stop repeating the old patterns. You're going to have to shift it. You notice that I shift my thinking. One of the things that I had to do is I had to also stop being a victim and be a visionary. You understand what I'm saying? Your mindset shapes everything around you. Yes. If you a drama queen and you are always arguing, are you fussing, you complaining to your kids, to your spouse, to your boyfriend, you literally should not be surprised when all kind of stuff start happening. I've seen it. And we use the excuse that when it rains, it pearls. No, let me explain something to you. It's not, that is not the true fact. That's the physical fact. But the spiritual fact is you are attracting all of that stuff that you're giving out. I have seen it. Have a fight with your mate, walk out in your car, don't work, come back home and your roof is leaking. Yes, yes, it's all connected, mind, body, and soul. Now, that was good. You should remember that. Your mind is the key. Everything that we discuss, every conversation that we had in my podcast was about self mastery. Really, it's the mind, because the mind is within. How come, Miss P? I don't understand. It all starts right here. Yes, in your mind. That argument started here. Remember you got on the phone with your friends and said, I'm going to tell that person off. I mean, I'm going to tell them off. What? Girl, what you going to say? You just got it all up in your head. I'm going to say this. I'm going to say that. I'm going to say it start right here. You wake up and you just, well, you go to bed and you just panic and you spend the whole 2 weeks feeling that my job is going to let me go. I don't know what to do. And guess what? Your day is coming. You threw it out there in your world and then you get a notice. I had a job many years ago and I lived everywhere, but I was in South Carolina and I believe I was in Virginia and they were shutting down. I normally do not work in factories. I normally don't. I don't. But I was working at the factory and this was the printers company. And I literally, it was a lot of us. And what happened is they said, well, they put notice that so many is going to be fired or let go, whatever. It didn't matter to me because it was late before me. I was used to working in corporate. Why did I leave New York, right? And we walked in as a crowd, left as a crowd, and we just didn't know. And we were trying to get information from the managers, and the manager said, we can't tell y'all. Well, I kept it cool because really I was like, I don't care because it took me no time to get a job. Unfortunately, although I was cool and peaceful and calm, they let me go. I was at peace. I didn't blame God. I didn't do any of that. I was at peace. I said, so be it. And I believe I got another job offer probably that next week. Then what happened from there, because I was still at peace. And some people was hurt. I remember talking to someone, they was devastated. What happened within the next maybe 3 weeks? My phone rang and it rang and rang. And I knew from my answering, at that time I had the answering machine, somebody was contacting me from the company. And I finally answered that call. And they said, we need you back. Do you see what peace did? It gave me great pleasure to say, I don't want to come back. No, thank you. I don't want to work for a company that goes back and forth, back and forth. And I know some of y'all say, well, nowadays, you just don't know. Yeah, that is true. But if you in the field that constantly wants to let you go and you know your work and you know what you've been given, your boss for decades, use that opportunity to go ahead and become your own boss. You see how I did that? You don't want to continue to assume. We talked about this the other day. Assume that if a Pacific president is in the United States, you're going to get fired. Assuming that if all the Democrats got got office in the House of Representatives, well, I am going to get poor. I mean, they're going to take from us. Don't assume because none of them None of them. I think I was telling somebody this on one of my podcasts. They said, oh, if you don't do this, if you don't do this, and you don't, they were devastated. It's people that literally, you would be surprised, who have no relationship with their family because of who they picked in the last election, or maybe in even other elections. It doesn't matter who was up there. They may do some stuff that can be ugly, and some might do some stuff that be a little cute. At the end of the day, you have to get up, and you are in control of your own destiny. It's your calling. God didn't say, I'm going to call you in the president of the United States. Who am I take? I'm not talking up for anybody. I'm just letting you know I made money when a Democrat was in there. I made money when a Republican was in there. I'm just letting you know your source, and know that it's you that have to take the step. Don't give your control. It sounds easy. Well, I had a government job and they took this. I bet you was good at that government job. I bet you went out there and you helped a lot of people. I bet your boss was, can you check those? Check, check. I bet your boss was very, very proud of you. Yes, I was the best. And nobody was like me. Oh, I got paid. They got jealous of me. Yes, because I made the most sales. I did this, I did that. Yeah. Oh, well, they definitely lost somebody because I kept to myself. I was not a part of the drama, honey child. I was not a part of it. I kept to myself. I didn't bring no drama. I did everything. I organized everything. They had their work when they needed, way before. Oh, yes. I walked up in there, and when they needed me to multitask, I was the best. Oh, they going to miss me. Now, you might feel good just for this moment, but I'm getting ready to break you down. If you was the best, got raises with no problem, didn't bring any drama, was the organizer, you had your work in before anybody else, you knew how to multitask, you should be ashamed of yourself. Don't you think it's time that you go and start your own business? You understand? If you know how to do all of that and you the person, the go-to person, start your own business. You can start your own business and then apply for your license, which don't cost much in your state. You can slowly do that. Don't tell me you know how to do hair. They fired you. You got it going on. Set up shop in your basement. Some of y'all got basements, attics, or whatever, and you can go ahead and get a shampoo in there. Some of you just do the braiding, but go in there as your own business. Do you understand? Yes, you should be shamed because you knew all the things you just told me. You had it going on. So whoever fired you, take it with you and you become the leader. You might be surprised that you'll make more money with 5 good clients than you could in a week after they took taxes and everything out of your pay. The other thing that I really want you to step into your abundance. Awareness isn't just knowing, it's becoming. Don't just know. You have to become. I am a entrepreneur. I am an influencer. See your numbers going up if that's what you desire. I am a consultant, a coach, a counselor. Become that. Whenever you, especially those who go out there, and majority of the people is always asking for your advice. I remember when I was the guru of relationships. Hello. And to this day, I can tell you about relationships because I went through the bad ones, the good ones, but I also learned from the smart ones. And I said, no. And I said, I got to get paid for this. I want to do this for free because this is God calling. Really? God asks for his tithes. So where do you think the tithes come from? He's he's going to provide you with income. Your tithes can't come from your kindness, your smile. You want to tithe into people's life with kind words, encouragement. But the money part, he said, give the Caesar. He know that you're going to have things that you have to pay for. So those of you who keep saying, oh, no, I don't want to get money, go out there and do what you do best and form a line and say, I'm not charging you a penny. And then when check day come, or should I say, you won't have no check day. You won't have any check day. But when that day come for you to supposedly get it, pay your rent or anything like that, you won't be able to do so. Then you're going to realize that your time is worth A lot of money is very valuable. Well, listen, we are up to some good questions that was given to me, and I'm going to answer them. First of all, I thank you for your questions, and I hope y'all got something out of this. First of all, someone wanted to know, how do I know if I lack self-awareness? Well, you know what? I'm going to go back and recap everything right here, right now. You feel stuck and you keep repeating the same job. And I don't think the same job is bad, but the same bad negative things that happens on your job, like being fired. The same man, it may be a male who has the same female that comes out to his pocket. It's time for you to look at within. Look within, I said. Don't look over there, over there, over there and say it's my neighborhood's where I was brought up. This is the way my parents was. I didn't have any parents. I don't have any siblings. Keep on moving. Oh, that was a good question. Here go another one. How do I develop self-awareness? You know what I'm going to say? You go ahead and get a coach. I keep saying it. You observe, you question things, and then you educate yourself. Then you're going to take all of that ingredients and rewrite your inner dialogue daily. I mean, a lot of y'all, I never did this. When I was growing up, I didn't have a journal. I have journals, but I tried to put things that went wrong. I just couldn't do it. Take that journal and put, if you put a sentence that something went wrong, right next to it, rewrite it and say, this is what's happened. They called me this, but I am this. Start doing that. So rewrite everything. I mean, if you have a journal, you could turn around and rewrite that whole journal. Oh yeah. Yeah. And guess what? That'll be your book. Let's see what God is saying about that. Again, we actually was studying self-awareness breakthrough. I come that die. Excuse me. I'm trying to talk like King James, but they may have life and have it more abundantly. John 10:10, you can never forget that. That's another one of my favorite ones. Even the last one I think was great. And you see what I'm saying? God said that you would have abundance. Abundance is health. God don't want you to be lacking in health. Anywhere there's lack, that's not God. Wait a minute. And I'm going to stop saying Miss P because it's really Coach P. Wait a minute, Coach P. What are you saying to me? I mean, I'm sanctified and I'm holy and I be at the church every single day, and you are going to tell me that's not God? No, that's not God. Hopefully your pastor or priest is teaching you, if not abundance, teaching you how to strive out there. That's why if you notice a lot of pastors, a lot of evangelists are on social media right now and trying to get podcasts, trying to be coaches, because they know I can sit in my house and I can coach y'all and I don't have to worry about the building. It's less expensive and I can still be blessed in abundance because they tired. A lot of people in the church are tired because it's one thing telling them about Jesus, it's another thing telling them about Allah, but how about telling them how do they master their self? I'm not talking about saying, oh my goodness, you sin, you sin, you sin. I'm talking about going out there and being a master of your own world. Because truth be told, when Jesus came down for 3 years, he came to show you, to wipe away anybody who had lack and to show you how it's done. And he said, you too would do these things, but greater, because he came for 3 years. Some of you have 80, 90 years and you have nothing to show. I'm going to say it again. Nothing to show for it, but gossip and complaining. You don't have 2 pennies and you got a mind, you got a genius mind, and you see the incoming and you haven't done anything. You ladies, you are just holding on to good for nothing men. And you know that you can run a goddamn empire. Because once you have kids, I don't care how many kids you have, the more you have, the more you was the manager. You was the CEO of that house. And men, you should be ashamed of yourself depending on a female. Because you know you're a genius too. And I don't care if you went into a relationship and you and that woman, how they call it, a blended family. You can take your king genius and she can take her queen genius. So, and bring it together and have an empire. So, with that being said, I know you got something out of this. I am so glad you came to my space. And until next time, unplug, transform, and manifest your promised land today. Why are you trying to do that today? I got daily in here. You know why? Because every day you have to keep gate of what is coming around your eye gate, even in your home, especially if you have kids. You got to see what's out there. You have to be aware of it. You don't walk in fear, because once you have your relationship with God, He will give you the discernment of the Spirit. You watch your gate. Your gate is your castle. I don't care if you in a 1-bedroom or studio. I don't care if you in the hood or the ghetto. I've been to all of those. And if you watch your home and you take that home that you have, or house or apartment, and you make it a castle, keep it up as a castle, I guarantee God will put you in a castle. And many places that I have moved by my choice, you better believe I had the best, because you can put me, and I don't want to be put in one. You should be able to go into a tent and make that tent look like a castle. I want you to remember something. If loving yourself is right, you don't want to be wrong. What if the story you are sitting on is the breakthrough someone waiting for? Are you an influencer or an entrepreneur sitting on a powerful story? Hi, my name is Phyllis Whitley. Call me Coach P, the founder of Self Whisper and Whispervise. I help people like you publish their story 30 days or less. Stop leaving money on the table. Your knowledge is powerful, and it could be your next paycheck. Join the Publish Your Purpose Challenge using the link below. And please subscribe now. I appreciate you.